today. From Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports. The Tennessee Titans taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
Could be their year.
The Titans set to take over behind their quarterback, Ryan Tannehill.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll take this one up. Now Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Tannehill's pass.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Again, Tannehill. And the throw there going to be incomplete on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
You know what I did in pregame? I made sure I touched him as he went.
You get a 3rd and 3. And that is incomplete.
The pass. Incomplete. Intended for Juju Smith-Schuster.
It's easy to see when
down pass play. 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3. At the 40.
Throwing again is Tannehill. It's complete right back in the hands of Smith. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42.
Won the rushing title in 2019 for 1,540 yards on the ground and 16 rushing touchdowns. Went to his first Pro Bowl and carried his team to the AFC Championship game.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Brings up 2nd.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Tannehill throwing complete there to Humphries. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. The Titans were #1 in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage last year, 77%. It's 1st and goal. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
A 4-yard gain.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set. A toss right to Henry. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Cameron Hayward attacking off the edge that time.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Stephen Gostkowski on for the field goal. A 32-yard attempt.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the Titans hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So they get their offense here, about ready for their next drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. And even 50 yards on the ground. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense?
I'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Tannehill on 1st down. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The Titans going to use on 1st down, Tannehill. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the 1st half. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0.
Steelers, nothing.
Field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And that game tied 21-all. In the 2nd quarter. A lot of offense there. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Mike Williams, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they lead the visiting Saints in that one at halftime. The Lions still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the 2nd half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. And we first play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
And the Steelers 1st down.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
Down, Pittsburgh.
They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. To the right side to Eric Ebron. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
A gain of 4.
2nd and 6 from the 10.
At the 10-yard line.
Here's Connor. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Ball carrier.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
A gain of 4.
Again, a run with Connor. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They'll look to run with Connor, pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from taking the lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about.
Staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
And the Steeler first down.
Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. The Steelers were last in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage a season ago, down around 35%. It's 1st and goal. And this will be caught by his big tight end, Ebron, for a Steeler touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end.
15-6. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone.
Down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Henry.
Just enough to get the first down there with a 1-yard pickup. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Tannehill. Pass caught left side by Humphries. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there in this passing game.
This is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
But it's caught on the right side at Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But they take care of the rock.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Flushed out right. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And they do finally get him at the 12. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 41 yards.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hand.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Steelers. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those two TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now. Start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
you
right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
First and 10.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
The big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. Tannehill. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still...
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Over the middle here to Brown. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Nice play on the ball by A.J. Brown, and he comes up with the reception. He had a terrific 2019 as a rookie. The first one since 1970 to go over 1,000 yards receiving and average over 20 yards per catch.
Here's a first and 10 at the 14-yard line. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Here we go on fourth, Tannehill. And it is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance, it just was unsuccessful.
And Pittsburgh getting set. That one looks like he'll throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Rashaan Evans, the linebacker, recording the sack there. He'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the Bud Dupree gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offense.
And he's into the clear. 30, 10.
You'll get nothing and like
and he
it.
brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case.
That one good for 10 yards. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs. And that will write a finish to this ball game.
Here we go! Here we go!
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Pittsburgh, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles.